I know. Woo! What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for joining the channel today. It is 60 degrees and sunny today in February. The motorcycle gods have blessed us. So I'm out riding with my friend John from Road Reality. We're just gonna have a little fun. All right, so it's been a couple of weeks since we had the Harley Davidson reveal event for the 2024 models, where they announced the new Road Glide and the Street Glide. So I wanted to let the dust settle a little bit before I got into a video and share some of my thoughts. But yeah, overall, you know, I thought it was interesting. There's a few pros and cons that I took away from the event. Now, I'm not gonna get too deep into the weeds and talk about specs, talk about this, talk about that, but just some like very broad observations about the event. So let's get going. So the first observation, you know, I think it's a pro. I think it's one in the pro column, but you know, good job Harley Davidson, right? Really impressed that for $25,000 or so, you're getting a pretty good package for, you know, the Road Glide and the Street Glide. The 117 engine, liquid cooled heads, you know, the new infotainment system, the upgraded speakers. There's a lot to like, all for $25,000, $26,000, which is actually cheaper than what their Road Glide, Street Glide specials used to be. So I thought that was pretty impressive. I'm still unclear about the CVO ST because I haven't really, you know, done a whole lot of digging around on that bike. But for the most part, if you really like road glides and street glides and touring Harleys, like, I don't know, I think this is a good direction for Harley Davidson. So all in all, good job, Harley Davidson, for the live event. I think you delivered on what people were expecting. All right, but that's kind of where it ends for me. If I'm being honest, I was a little disappointed. But yeah, this is just my personal feelings, my personal thoughts. So hear me out. But I was kind of disappointed that there were no updates to the Softail line. And as somebody who owns a 2020 Lowrider S, everything was pretty much the same. Nothing changed at all except prices. And I was just a little, you know, I kind of wanted something. In all actuality, like, they took away the Fat Bob. So not only did we not get any major updates to the Softail line, they actually took away a bike. I don't know why they did the CVO treatment for the Pan America. I think a CVO Heritage would have been really, really cool. That's a bike that I've been kind of infatuated with a lot lately. Or even a CVO Fat Boy. That would have been really badass. But no, nothing's changed. Colors and prices. All the love went to the touring models. All the love went to the CVOs, the Road Glide, Street Glide, and the Pan America. So that was pretty disappointing. So that's my second takeaway. All right, so let's talk about the third takeaway. And I think this, for me, this is the biggest one. But ever since they took away the Iron 883 and the Iron 1200s and the Sportster line, right? I've thought about how there's really no approachable entry into Harley Davidson. Like, the Sportsters, even though they were outdated, they were the cheapest Harleys that you could get. For about like 9 or 10K, you could get yourself into an Iron 883. Still outdated. To me, that's still a lot for what you get, but you could still get a Harley, true Harley Davidson for about 10K. Now, if you wanted to get into a Harley Davidson, you got to go through the Nightster, which actually they've, you know, dropped the prices, so kudos to Harley. I believe it's about 12K or 13K now. But let's be real. Like, I think for most people, they're not going to be interested in the Nightster. I'm pretty sure the Nightster sales have been struggling as of lately. From the things that I've read, you know, people just generally don't really like that new Nightster. You know, I'm painting with a broad stroke here, but you get what I'm saying. So what's the next logical step? All right, now you got Softails. The cheapest Softail is the Softail Standard, and it comes in at 15K. I don't know about you, but if I'm riding for the first time, if this is my first time getting into a motorcycle, or for any new rider, 15K is a big pill to swallow. That's a lot of money. When I started, I wanted to spend about 7 or 8. That was like my budget, especially because I didn't know if I was going to stick with it for a long time, and, you know, there's just a lot of uncertainties. Like, are you going to enjoy it, etc.? So if you don't want the Nightster, now you're left with the Softail Standard, which is at 15K, very, very high. In my opinion, it's too expensive. I think it's too expensive for most new riders. I don't know, I might be wrong. I know that there are a few new riders that, you know, go into Lowrider S or Heritage, the Softail Heritage, and they're totally fine with it because they know they're gonna stick with it for a long time. But for a lot of new riders, they're unsure. They wanna get into something that's more affordable. And not just new riders, but younger riders who may not have a whole ton of money. Like if you're 24, 25 and, you know, maybe you just got a job, who has that kind of money? Even 15K for me now is a lot of money. And I've been working for a long time. If you're a new rider or you're a younger rider or both, man, Harley does not treat you nice. It's almost like Harley saying, hey, I don't want your money. I don't want 10 grand from you now. Hit me up when you have 15K or so. I know Harley Davidson has basically a brand new strategy. I just don't see it. What was interesting for this year was, you know, they did more of the same, meaning no longer do you have a road glide or street glide standard. So now you can't even get into a road glide or street glide at the low 20s mark, like 21, 22K. I think that's what the road glide and street glide standards went for last year. So if you want to get a brand new road glide and street glide, you gotta be ready to pony up $26,000. Presumably a lot more, like let's say 30K after your tags, titles, fees, and all that stuff. That's a lot of money. My point being is that Harley Davidson is kind of forgetting about like the bridge. Where is the bridge for if I wanted to get into a road glide or a street glide from my Lowrider S to trade it in and get into a road glide or street glide for about 22, 23K. There's nothing like that for me right now unless I go to the used market. I have to jump to about 30K. That's a big jump. I think you're turning off a big customer base by doing that. So yeah, I sincerely thought that Harley Davidson was going to aim at you know, having kind of stages, right? Like if you want a road glide or street glide, you know, you can get into it for 22K, and you know, maybe you'll buy more accessories from them or upgrade it to how you want it. No more. Can't do that anymore. You gotta pony up about 26, 27, 28, however much it costs now to get a brand new street glide or road glide. I mean, don't get me wrong, when you get it, it's already kind of decked out pretty nicely, but there is just a big gap, man. And same thing with the Pan America, right? I thought they were gonna come out with the 975 Revolution Max engine version of that, make it a little bit cheaper, make it a little bit more friendly on the wallet, easier for people to kind of jump into Harley Davidson's Pan America instead of spending about like 20K or however much. No, they went the opposite way. They brought out a CVO model. I don't know how big the market is for something like that, but I mean, could fool me. So I guess the answer is if you're looking for something relatively cheap, you gotta go to the used market or something like that. And I don't want to dwell on this fact, like I don't want to dwell on prices. It's not really so much about prices, it's just about like graduating people into the bike that they want, right? And I thought Harley used to do that pretty nicely with the Sportster, when the Softail standard was like 13-ish K. That made sense to me. But now it's like, nope, Softail standard. If you want to get into a Softail line, Softail standard, which has the 107 engine, by the way. You know, it's kind of going the way of the dinosaur. But now that's 15K. And I think how much is the Street Bob? Like 17? It's, I don't know. I feel for people who are kind of like getting into Harleys now. I'm glad I bought my Lowrider S when I did, because I don't know if I could afford it now. At like sitting at like 20K, that's a lot of money. 20K, and then like you're probably looking at 24 out the door. Jesus, that's a lot of money. So yeah, I don't know how it's going to go for Harley. I know that they've been struggling a lot as of late. There's a lot of reasons for that, but I don't think this model kind of helps position them to grab new customers, grab younger riders. It seems like they want to juice profits. That's kind of how I'm reading it. Don't get me wrong, I still think they did a great job on the Street Glide and the Road Glide. I think that was the right move. I would have liked to see the base model for that, right? Like, is there something cheaper? Can I just get like it, you know, can I get for something for 21K? I don't know. So the fourth takeaway is with the introduction of the Street Glide and the Road Glide at about 26K with the 117 engine and all the new gizmo gadgets in the tech, like, what is it gonna do with the used prices? Like for somebody who just bought a, you know, Road Glide ST, for example, I think the Road Glide ST was about like 30-ish K, and now if you wanted to get a 24 Road Glide, it already has the 117, it's got the updated tech, it's got all the LEDs. Like, I don't know. I would be a little bit salty if that was me. And now I'm just kind of curious what it's going to do with all the used prices for the Road Glide and the Street Glide specials and the standards and the ST models that are, you know, 2023 and younger, or 2023 and older. So that's my other observation, more as a general thought, but curious how you all feel about the Harley Davidson live event. Did you find it to be everything that you expected and more, or were you underwhelmed, or was it mixed feelings? Let me know. Drop me a comment in the video. But I think that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna go and ride and enjoy this weather. But I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.